Hello, and welcome to this business and career strategy session. Now, I wanted to do something a little bit creative here today because sometimes things happen. And for example, you host a call for your community or your business, or you do a workshop that you're trying to put out to the world, and maybe no one shows for it, which has happened today in this career strategy session. And that's okay. And the beauty of when you trust yourself is to not allow that to really diminish your trust in yourself or your confidence. It's to say, okay, this is where things are at here. How can I learn from this? How can I make this better for my business? How can I make this better for my career? And how can I use it as an opportunity to grow rather than as an opportunity to hold myself back, to use as an example of why things won't work out or can't work out, to use as evidence as to why you're not capable. This is the mindset shift that needs to happen for you to truly thrive in your career and in your business and at home as well, and in your personal life, because it's all linked. So today, I've just taken a moment before coming into this session to think, I could sit here and I could do a presentation. I didn't have a presentation planned for today. I was going to see what came into the space and we were going to work with it. So instead, what I thought I would do is give you a guided meditation of sorts, a future you visualization to help you with your career and your business and to help you unlock your strategy, because strategy really is the steps. It's the plan of action to take to get the results that you want. And unless you have the clear end kind of idea of what it is that you're creating, this is where we can end up spending time and energy and money and love on things that actually are not going to come back to you. And of course, sometimes that's just how it is, and we can learn from that. But when you continue to hone your vision, when you continue to trust yourself, when you continue to allow that to become real, that's when you will take the steps as part of your strategy and you will create it. Often, the reason we don't get the results that we want is because of all the unconscious and subconscious programming, conditioning, and thoughts that we're having alongside the emotional side, the feelings. It's that whole kind of idea of sometimes the day before you'll have said, I'm going to do a workout tomorrow. And in the day, in the moment, you're like, I don't feel like it. But if we go from that feeling every day, then we don't make progress, because every day we're not going to feel like it, because it requires the effort to do the workout to get the reward of the workout. And it's when we do the workout or that we take that brave step that we don't really feel like taking, we get the results that we want. Now, conversely, it's not to say we don't ignore or completely disregard emotion, right? We need to understand and consider ourselves from our own emotional situation as humans. And so it's this real relationship that you have with yourself and your body and your mind, but also those deeper buried ambitions and kind of the soul, the pit of your stomach, or wherever your soul exists in you. If you think about what you really love, like why you're here as part of Club Thrive, why you really want to achieve the things you want to achieve in your career, they will be connected into something inside of you, and what we want, or from a place somewhere inside of you. Because often when you are a service provider, or you are an artist, or you are a creator, or you're a visionary or an entrepreneur, you are driven by a deeper purpose, you are driven by a deeper motivation. And it is that motivation that, if it is not stoked, if it is not rewarded, if it is not kind of connected continuously to the vision that you have, is going to kind of simmer out. And this is also true for things like burnout and energetic kind of draining. So we want to make sure that we are nourishing and fueling you across the board. And so today, I wanted to give you this gift of a future you visualization to understand and maybe explore where there are limits that you're putting on yourself, where the growth that you desire from your career is being inhibited by your fear around your potential challenges that you might face, or the kind of ideas that you might be having around what you think you are or you're not capable of. All those feelings that might be coming up in resistance to it, which is why that connection with your body is so important, because it carries so many messages. And this is not to say that we go into past trauma and dig into it. It's just to say that that will be in your body, the challenge, whether it's traumatic or whether it's just a challenge that you faced as a kid. We carry that inside of us. And it's not to say that in these sessions we explore that. It's to understand that those things will be impacting you and potentially creating a block that is stopping you from actually getting you to where you want to go. So today, I would like to invite you to open out your imagination and to start tapping into tools and things that society perhaps has not put value on, whether that's the artistic temperament of who you are, whether that is your imagination, whether you were labeled as floaty or dreamy or distant as a kid or even as an adult, and how we can harness that as a superpower for you in your business and in your career. So, I'm not sitting down or lying down here, I'm sitting on a chair, but I'm going to invite you to, if you have space to lie down where you are, then go for it. But if you are sitting down somewhere, then I'm going to invite you just to kind of lean back into your chair ever so slightly just to begin with. And I know that this is strange, right? Because our brains immediately might go to, you might feel restless here. You might be thinking, God, but this isn't doing enough. Like, I'm not doing enough. How am I? And, like, look at my body, even just think about like the agitation, like how we agitate and how stress and anxiety manifests in our physical gesticulation. Even me, like moving around, like there is energy in us, right? If you're feeling that in your body, just allow it to be here. It's okay. Like, often when we think of strategy or we think of career, we think of business, we think of sitting down, we think of focusing, and we think of doing all the things. And that is totally valid. And that's exactly what we do here too. We've got to take the action. But as individuals who are driven and ambitious, sometimes it's that softer, leaning back, surrendering part of us that actually holds a lot of the answers to what we're fighting to find. And it helps you to connect to a deeper level of self-trust within yourself. It really also enables you to see yourself fully. And a lot of the work I do is really around encouraging you to sit with that thought, because when you see yourself fully, the world will see you fully. And this is about visibility. This is about owning your own skills and experience. And it's also about your communication and how you talk about yourself and how you put yourself out there in the world. Because even if you're not even conscious of it, there will be subconscious things going on in your mind and your body that may be holding you back from truly achieving the things you're capable of. So just for the next, let's say kind of 5-10 minutes, go with me on this today. And let's just see what happens as a result. So, taking a moment to get comfy, taking a moment to connect in with the breath. What does this mean? This means to take a deep inhale breath through the nose and exhale, just allowing the breath to fall out through the mouth. And over the next couple of breaths in your own time, just really surrendering into your body. So we hold a lot of tension in the body. We hold a lot of tension in the jaw, in the shoulders, and even in the stomach. Especially if you're someone who has been self-conscious of your appearance, or you have always felt, perhaps you've called yourself horrible things. I'm not going to put them into the space, but you will have your own potential language around the things that you call yourself in your appearance and your body. That creates tension in the body that we carry in our muscles. That tension gives our body and our minds signals that we're not safe. It gives us signals that we need to be on high alert. It gives us signals that we need to hold on in response to the things that are coming. Very primal, fight or flight or freeze, okay? It's that response that we're carrying in our body unconsciously that feeds into anxiety, that feeds into stress, that feeds into lack of focus, that feeds into overwhelm, and that feeds into procrastination and avoidance of the things that are actually going to move your career forwards and your business forwards. So today we're taking a moment to get really clear and connected on you, almost in separation from the company or the business or the career that you're building, because at the end of the day, you are at the center of your career, of your future, and of your business. Even if you are building a business and a career based around alternative values, right? So our careers and our businesses often have their own beating heartbeat, and it can be very helpful to separate ourselves from that. So today, this is a chance for you, as you, to connect back in with yourself, because ultimately you are the leader of your business. You are the heart of your business. Even if your business is not you, if even if it's not a personal identity, even if it's a company. But you are at the heart of that. You are the one that is leading it. And so in order for you to really trust the business needs to trust you. There is a partnership. And it also really helps to separate this so that you can keep looking after yourself. So just take a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhaling, allowing it to just fall out of the mouth and clocking any areas of tension that you might have in your body. Like we spoke about, the shoulders, the jaw, the stomach, the hips, very common areas of tightness and tension. And just acknowledging them. And if you find, like I was saying at the beginning, that you have a lot of restless energy, it's okay, don't fight it. If you try and kind of fight your restlessness, you're just going to be telling yourself that restlessness is wrong. And your body, especially if you do not like being told what to do, is going to create more of it. So let's accept it and welcome it in, because this is how you learn to surrender into that restlessness and to accept it. Because a lot of this work is about acceptance. It is about allowing what is here to be here, allowing what you truly want to be here, and allowing yourself to express that, whether that's in a journal or through the words that you speak and the actions that you take. So just take me 2 more deep breaths in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. In your own time, just doing 1 more of those. And if you start to feel emotions tingling here, you might not, but it's okay. And this space is for you. You know best. You know better than anyone. And there is a dance between us fully surrendering and allowing it all to be there and holding on, and the gripping and the control that comes with that. And none of these things are good or bad. They're just things. They're just parts of the human condition. They're just parts of who you are. And the more that we allow those things to be in, to coexist, the less it becomes about you being right or wrong or what you should do, and more about you and what helps you thrive and what helps you feel alive and what helps you express yourself freely. And I'm just going to ask you to take a moment to consider what you would love to walk away with today. What are you craving? What is it that if you really were to allow it to be possible, what is it that you would truly want? Is it space, for example? Is it freedom? Just see what comes up. There's no judgment here, okay? It can be completely random. You might suddenly have thought of trees. It doesn't matter if it's a word, if it's an image, if it's a sound. Just explore it and tap into it. Connecting to how it feels, to connect with what has come up in terms of what you are craving. To connect with what it is you would love more of. Perhaps what you haven't allowed yourself to allow into the space of your life. What it is that you don't seem to have enough time for. And just see what comes up here. And just see where the mind goes with that imagination of what it is that you want. I'm going to invite you to indulge it. Where does it lead? If you really allow yourself more of that, where does it take you in your mind? And if you're not someone that sees things visually in your mind when you close your eyes, that's okay. Okay, don't fight it. Just see what comes up. And perhaps it's more a matter of what you're hearing, what people are saying, or the sounds of your environment and what you feel in your body. There are other ways of tapping into your creativity so that you don't label yourself as a good or a bad creative. Or even the fact that that might just be such a mind-blowing thing to think of yourself as a creative that it blocks you straight away and your body tenses. Just notice it. This is a space for observation, to deepen your self-awareness, to give you the power and the control to generate the freedom you are craving as a result of your career and the business that you are building. You would not be doing it without an intention. Why are you here? What are you hoping for? What are you hoping for? And it might come up as a word, it might come up as an image, it might come up as a sensation in your body. And what is that? If you were to exchange in a dialogue of what it is that comes up, have a chat with it, with the feelings, with the sounds, play with the image of it perhaps. Really allowing it to be here without judgment, without it needing to be right or wrong. Just allowing it to be here. Ensuring that the breath is still flowing without it being forced, without it being another thing to prove that you can or can't do. Truly and utterly being here. In this room, wherever you are, maybe you're outside, just being here, wherever here is today. And if you start to notice your body wriggling again, just acknowledge it. It's okay. Just breathing into it. Coming back to the idea of why am I here? What do I want? What am I craving? And if your body feels inclined to stretch into that, stretch into it. If you've been craving space and you're feeling contained, what does it mean to really reach into that space? If you've been craving freedom, what does it mean for you to just acknowledge that right now and honor it? If you've been craving health or peace or safety or confidence, what does it mean to really embody that and to really stretch into it? Breathing as you go, never holding the breath. Then when you've had a lovely expansion into that, allowing the body to settle back into the floor or into the chair, wherever you are, breathing into it. Just noticing perhaps how your face feels softer. And if not, clock it. It's okay. What's in the frown? What's in the jaw? What's in the stomach? What are you holding on to? This is a space where you are enabled and allowed to completely release and let go. It's okay. It's not going to change anything for the worse by doing so in this space. Because when we are constantly feeling like we have to hold on and to keep everything together and to make sure everyone else is okay, releasing and letting go can feel very scary. And in these spaces, we make it okay for you to let go. So that when you go back out into the world, you can continue to practice it and to see how things potentially can continue fine without you having to do it all, without you having to hold it all together, without having to be everything for everyone. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale, just let that go. Time for you. I'm going to invite you now to just imagine that it's maybe about 3 months down the line from where we are today. So we're doing this in June. So 3 months down the line is kind of September time. And maybe you're doing this another time of the year. So connect into the season in 3 months' time. Take a moment to really imagine that you have honored what has come up today about what you are craving. Floating almost above yourself and flying yourself forwards to 3 months' time before, like a Google Map pin, plopping yourself down to where you want to place yourself in 3 months. Really allowing the mind here to tap into your imagination, acknowledging when the rational brain comes in to stop or to censor, and just allowing it and acknowledging it and giving it permission to just take a step away, to go on its own little journey in a different direction. Maybe want to pop it in a box. If you were to put your rational brain, the brain that keeps things together, into a space just for this moment, where would you put it? Where does that rational part of the brain go? Maybe it's a person. It might be your inner critic. It might be that voice that's always saying, you can't do that. Why are you doing that? Oh God, you're just terrible. Don't even allow that in. And that voice and that part of you, we want to acknowledge and say thank you for, because it has got you to where you are today. So this is about collaboration rather than conflict with the parts of you that you have in your body and your mind, to really enable you to achieve the results that you're capable of in your career and your business. So whether it's turning down the dial on the noise volume of that voice or part of you, or popping it in a box, or putting it in a different country, metaphorically in your imagination, tapping into the imagination to help you. A bit more space created. So coming back to you in 3 months' time. And if you're a bit confused, don't worry, just keep going with it, okay? It's a practice. It's a bit like going to a yoga class, or a bit like doing something for the first time. We don't always necessarily kind of figure it all out the first time. It takes a little bit of practice. It takes a bit of falling over and getting back up. But you've come with yourself, this version of you in the future in 3 months' time. And I just want you to take a little look around at the seasonal change. Perhaps it's still summer, as it would be here in the UK if we were to think about it in kind of September, August time. There is a tinge of a shift of a season, but it's that end of the summer. If you're in a different country, 3 months often is midway either into a new season or it's the shift of a season. There is a chance for change and for growth and for evolution. Just as nature shifts and grows, this is a chance for you as well to have really been on that same journey. What do you see in this world around you? Having really honored what you have craved today in this space, you've really honored what it was that you were craving. You've really embodied that, and you've allowed it to guide your decisions over the last 3 months. Talking from a place of the future version of you in 3 months' time who has really honored those decisions and those choices. Take a look around this life that you have created in just such a short period of time, just 12 weeks. And perhaps the shifts have been tiny, but you've honored them and you have committed to them. How are you feeling having done that? What do you have more of here? There's an energy, a restedness, a focus, an excitement of what is possible. There is freedom, perhaps, of choice. And you seem to have more time. You definitely have more energy. And financially, things are starting to feel really, really, really good. Perhaps they were already good, and perhaps you've decided to spend your money a little bit more on you. Perhaps there has been an elevation of self-worth in this version of you. If you were to take a step away, kind of stepping out of the body of the version of you in 3 months' time and taking a moment to look at that version of you. And if it helps to imagine seeing this version of you playing out a life on a TV or cinema screen, or perhaps you're a fly or a bird flying around, just having a little look at how this life is different. What is different? What are you noticing from the outside perspective? How does this version of you move? Are they stiller? Do they have a different presence around them? Do they laugh more? Perhaps they have more energy to do the things with their children that they've always wanted to do, or to do the things that used to be kind of a bit of a time waster in your mind. This version of you is a brighter version, a lighter version, a more confident version, a freer version, a more open version, a more powerful version. But none of this has caused any damage or wrongdoing to anyone else. It's been a totally organic evolution of who you are in this room right now, listening to this future you meditation, visualization. I'm going to invite you in this room right now to imagine you are going to meet that future version of you. You are going to step into their world in 3 months' time. And that future version of you turns to you and they have some wisdom to impart on you. What do they tell you? Just see what comes up without judgment. The version of you in this room meets the version of you in 3 months' time. And that version of you has some wisdom to impart on you, to gift to you. What do they tell you? What gifts and things do they know now that you in this room don't know yet, or perhaps don't believe yet? And you engage in a conversation with this future version of you, and you ask them whatever it is you want to ask them. Perhaps it's how did you do that? How have you become this freer, lighter, more confident, more successful version of me right now? And just see what they say. Keep breathing into the body, surrendering into whatever is coming up. And perhaps you feel inclined to hug this future version of you, to really feel the strength of their wisdom that they have from the experience that they've developed over the 3 months, just 12 weeks, and the growth that they've had and how much stronger they feel, perhaps. An embrace to walk towards, an embrace that is inevitable, an embrace that you are stepping closer to every single day of your life, even when things feel messy, hard, tricky, devoid of direction. What do you want to say to that future version of you? What impresses you about them, perhaps? What do you want to acknowledge about the change that they have been through, or that they are showing, or that they are being? Just taking a last moment to witness what that future version of you has created in just 3 months of truly trusting themselves. What do they have more of? Is it more work, or is it more time to do the things they want to do? Perhaps it's a blend of the both. How is that version at home? How does that version in the future, in 3 months' time, behave with their children? What do they prioritize? How do they love to spend their time? And what energy is really channeling through them? If you were to use one word to describe that version of you, what would it be? And if you haven't yet asked this question, ask it again, just quite directly to that future version of you. What did you do to get there? What am I doing wrong or off kilter? What am I capable of that I don't realize yet? What do I need to do to become you? And as a parting word, just see what they tell you, this future version of you. And that future version of you is going to kind of take a moment to walk away, but you can still stay in that future place. Knowing that this is possible for you, this is inevitable, that you can walk towards this by taking the steps every single day when you truly trust yourself and listen to the intuition that you have inside of you, alongside understanding what it is that you really need and want from your career and your life. And if you were to really tap into a place in your body where you feel this, and it doesn't matter if you don't feel any particular areas resonating, just notice where that future version of you resonated in your body, this future reality for you. Was it in your heart? Were there flutters of excitement in your stomach? Was there a sense of peace in your mind? If you were to place your hand or two hands on that part of your body that really connect into that future version of you, just taking a moment to do that now. Thinking about the wisdom that that future version of you imparted on you or to you or with you. And then if you're lying down, just hug the knees into the chest, or if you're sitting in a chair, just start to bring a bit of life back into the body. So if you're lying down, hug the knees into the chest and give yourself a little rock and roll, gentle hug. And if you're in a chair, maybe you have a little stretch, or you give yourself a little hug just to bring a little bit of reality back into where we are today in this moment. A little bit of a reconnection back into this world on this day. Just allowing yourself to really imagine that this is possible for you. Where you've gone today in your imagination, this is possible for you. This is your future. And you will have moments where the brain and the body starts to tell you that it's not possible. And I'd like to invite you to come back into what you found you were really craving today. Coming back into what you really wanted. And taking a moment, if you have a notebook there, just to jot down what has come up from today in terms of what you discovered, what was perhaps surprising. And maybe you just want to stay in this kind of slightly dreamlike reality. But also acknowledging what it is that if you were to really think about what could be done differently, not about doing more, but if you were to really take that step towards that future version of you that had that energy and that light and that sense of peace and calm alongside the success and the radiance that that has created for them. What is one thing you can do when you leave today to take a step closer towards that? Is it shutting the laptop and going outside for a walk? Is it doing the thing that you've been avoiding, the application form, the tidying a particular space in your flat or your house that's really getting you down, getting rid of all the clothes with holes in, treating yourself to something really lovely? What would that future version of you have done to get to that place in this moment? And it doesn't have to be big. It does not have to cost a lot, but it is an action step towards an alternative reality that you really want to walk towards. If it's around confidence, is it around doing something that feels a bit scary, making a new connection, going to something different, looking at how you talk about yourself, knowing that actually how we talk about ourselves is so important? Does that version of you in the future talk down on themselves? Probably not. Or if they do, maybe they do it a bit less. Because the words that we speak about ourselves and that we use to communicate about ourselves become the reality that we play out. So what reality do you want to play out, and how can you create that using the language and the words and the communication that you have at your fingertips? Because so much of change that you're capable of creating doesn't have to cost a lot. Often it's about the small tweaks and how it's happening. So what is that one action step? And when you have decided, I'd like you to pop it in the comments section below to let me know and to let us know so we can keep it accountable, right? Because self-accountability is an important part of self-empowerment and self-leadership. And when you work for yourself, or you run your own business, or you have a creative career, you are the one that is actually in control of that. And of course, we have all these external factors that we have to consider, but you have the kind of steering wheel. You get to choose where you put that energy. You get to choose how you talk about yourself. You get to choose those connections. You get to choose who you work with. So you have that control amongst all of these other uncontrollables. And what are you trying to control that's actually keeping you stuck? And what is worrying or scary about that? Because we have to consider those things to acknowledge them. Otherwise, they'll keep hidden away, but impacting the choices that you make. So we want to bring them to the surface without judgment, without it needing to be big or scary, just as acknowledgement of, oh, that's interesting, like you would with saying, I'd like a cup of tea, please. Never, never, never give up. So thank you for doing this session today. Pop in the comments, please, the action step that you are taking to get one step closer to the future version of you in 3 months' time, who has turned the dial up on all of those things that you really, really want, that perhaps you do have in your life right now, but that you would like more of. And this final reminder that when we think about things like our body changing, or money, having more of money, or a relationship of certain type, to get really clear on what it is that having the money, having the different body, having the happy relationship is going to give you. What is underneath the external stuff? What is underneath everything? And where is the focus on things like the numbers helping you versus hindering you? Obviously, when we're building our careers and in a business from a financial standpoint, having those money kind of guides can be helpful. Likewise, for example, if you're looking to change your body, sometimes numbers on the scales can be helpful, but only as part of the bigger picture, and only if they are helping you. If, for example, you are someone that's getting on the scales and the number is depressing you, that is not a helpful tactic. Likewise, if you are not connected to the numbers you are trying to make in your business, it is not connected. So you will not achieve those numbers because there is a kind of gap between the understanding of what they're going to give you, which is going to be impacting how you show up. And also that then impacts your self-trust and your self-belief and your confidence. Likewise with your body or your relationships. We can kind of end up focusing on unhelpful things. So how can you flip the coin in a different direction and try some new stuff? I would love to know what you're going to do to take that step closer towards that version of you. And perhaps it's a shift in who you are. Perhaps it's, I am going to have more patience at home. I am going to slow down. I acknowledge that there is time, and I'm going to explore how I'm using time differently. There are so many different ways of exploring this and a really fun and creative approach that get you insane results. And that's what we're here for, right? Because ultimately, your thriving life is what you need and what you want. It's going to be different for all of us. But I think for many of us, we have similar things around freedom and, expression or generosity or, all of these other things that are much more human. And when we connect to those and we build our businesses and our careers with that as a focus, it is much more beneficial for your health and your well-being, and you're much more likely to actually get the results that you want. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much for joining this session. Let me know what you find. Let me know what you're going to do. And I really look forward to the next one. Have a great week. Bye.